You are listening to Lovely Talks Heavy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lovely Talks Heavy. I am your host, Lovely, and I discuss everything I enjoy with regard to heavy music. Guess what, lads? It's the last episode of Lovely Talks Heavy for 2018. And what are we going to do for this episode? Well, I think naturally for any end-of-year endeavor, I only should put together a list of my favorite albums of 2018. There's going to be a little bit of a twist on this from your typical album of the year list, what have you. I will be doing a list of albums that I particularly liked that came out in 2018, but also I'm going to talk about albums that I discovered in 2018, mainly through my band binge endeavors. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Going to really overview what I found particularly enjoyable this year. And I can't wait to see what next year's list will bring. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of the episode to find out who the winner for my holiday giveaway is. And we'll have a lot of fun in this last episode of 2018. I won't be doing anything else for Lovely Talks Heavy until 2019. So yeah, let's just have some fun and dive right into this list, shall we? First on my list is Stranger Fruit by Zeal and Ardor. I've been so in love with this record ever since it came out. It's just so amazing in so many facets. The album art is just particularly amazing. I really like the color purple, and that really helps that it's a purple ass album cover. I really liked the sort of modern what appears to be a more modern interpretation of Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit and kind of twisting that into a more modern horror story for somebody like me. So I really enjoyed that. Stranger Fruit by Zeal and Ardor really amps up the idea of what Devil Is Fine did, really blending the idea of like slave chants and bluesy music and folksy stuff like that with black metal, whereas Devil Is Fine kind of had a sort of we'll be folky for a bit, now it's black metal, now folky again, and now black metal again, where Stranger Fruit kind of blends that more cohesively. And in the first half of the record, I really especially love how as you get further deeper into it, you get more and more drops of black metal, really amping up the horror in this sort of thing, and I really dig that. Some of my favorite tracks off this album have to be, well, there's so many of them, I really love it, but Servants, for one, I really love that. Don't You Dare, for another. And the title track, Stranger Fruit, because I think that particular one gets really easily stuck in my head, along with all the other songs in this album. But there's just something very particular about Stranger Fruit, the song, that just, gets caught in your brain and makes me want to cry from the horror that I may very well experience in this real life of mine. So, thank you, Manuel Gagno, for Stranger Fruit. I still want my soul back. Next on my list here, in no particular order, I should have noted earlier in the episode, but here we are. But there's no particular order. There's going to be one very particular thing that's going to be particularly placed at the end of this list, but don't worry about that right now. The next album that I really enjoyed that came out in 2018 is Vicious by Hailstorm, a hard rock, just masterpiece that top to bottom, I really love every single song. And what I like about Stranger Fruit, there's just something that really sticks in my head for each particular song. You know, you could just name a song off of Vicious, and I would just instantly get that iTunes preview play button just smashed in my brain, like, what doesn't kill me makes me vicious, that sort of thing. Like, so I really enjoy Vicious by Hailstorm. It's, I mean, I'm particularly biased because Lizzie Hale is my top tier hard rock gay crush, so that helps a bit. But aside from that, I really enjoy this record musically. Lizzie Hale got super horny on this one. I just really love that. And it's just really Vicious by Hailstorm. I just really enjoy it. Next on the list is 2 by Alien Weaponry. This is one of the newcomers of 2018, a new standout act of 2018 who everybody seems to be really enjoying, from what I can observe at least. If you hate Alien Weaponry, then you're just wrong. I'm sorry. One of the things I really enjoy about Alien Weaponry, aside from the fact that they have killer music, the fact that they sing in their Maori language primarily. Maori is a indigenous group to New Zealand, if you don't know that, but I really love that they do not shy away from using the Maori language for their music and highlighting issues that affect Maori people, like the TTP, among other things. I really enjoy Alien Weaponry, but the one thing I really enjoy particularly is that their band name, Alien Weaponry, is inspired by a film that I really like called District 9. It feels like so long ago since that movie came out. Holy shit. But I really love that Alien Weaponry have been getting a lot of great opportunity in this past year. Just seeing them being able to play festivals, seeing them be able to tour North America with Ministry and Carpenter Brut, which they're doing that right now, actually, as I am speaking. I really wish I could have, been able to go see them for this tour, but opportunity, while it's in favor for some people, it's not in my favor in this case. But yeah, I really can't wait to see what else Alien Weaponry can offer in these coming years. Also, I really just need another North American tour, and I know you're not finished with this one, the one that you're on currently, but hey, just so you know, you have one person who wants that. Next on our list of Lovely's favorite albums of 2018, that was kind of a weird phrase to say. I don't have a script again. But one of the great things about 2018, one of the great releases of 2018 that I've really enjoyed is Bad Witch by 9 Inch Nails. Oh, Mr. Trent Reznor, you've done it again. You pretentious motherfucker. I love you. And I love Bad Witch. The whole ambient art piece that you've made, that is Bad Witch, even. I need to learn how to speak with my mouth sometimes. But Bad Witch, it's incredible. It's amazing. I love the jazzy feel that has been added in some of these songs to really highlight the noisy art of it. I just really love Bad Witch, New Worlds, New Times, Mutation, Feels Alright, God Break Down the Door. Let's move on to the next one. Rounding out my list of albums that came out in 2018 to absolutely zero surprise to anybody is The Sacrament of Sin by Powerwolf. Holy fuck, this album. I love it so much. And I love Powerwolf so much. Everybody knows this. If you haven't listened to my long ass track by track review of the Sacrament of Sin, then you should go listen to that to really get an idea of how much I really love Powerwolf. If you have no idea how much I love Powerwolf, this is an amazing record top to bottom. I would love to see this album performed top to bottom live. I've just Powerwolf have been really delivering this year, also in the form of music videos. Just in the half year alone that this album has been out, they've delivered music videos for Fire and Forgive, for Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend, for The Sacrament of Sin, for Killers with a Cross. They have a lyric video for Incense and Iron, and apparently now they've got a video coming out for Storskebit. When the fuck are you stopping, Powerwolf? It seems never. I'm okay with that, honestly. I really am. Thank you, my 5 fathers from Germany. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They've been killing it on tour, it appears, from their social media feed, like their past Wolfsnacht tour. They've had fun videos posted on Instagram from every date, and the stage performance looks amazing. The crowd looks like they're having a fun time. The band really looks like they're engaging the audience with fun little things, like a little fun game that Attila Dorn and Valkyria Schlegel seem to like to play, where they'll have one half of the audience shout their names and the other half shout the other person's name. So it's a lot of fun. I am really enjoying what Sacrament of Sin has been delivering just this year alone. Whew, can we see a US tour in the future, Powerwolf, please? I'm begging you. I love you boys. My fathers. My dads. No. What else can I say about the Sacrament of Sin, other than the fact, I really love every song. They deliver a ballad that I very rarely enjoy in the Where the Wild Wolves Have Gone. We, a lot of us metalheads really particularly don't enjoy ballads, and it's like, why the fuck do we as a society keep making ballads? But they really killed it with this one. I'm probably biased again. I definitely am biased, but hey, I really enjoy Where the Wild Wolves Have Gone. Some killer tracks. Also, if you haven't gotten a listen to The Sacrament of Sin, that I really recommend, although you should just listen to it, in order and really experience it for yourself. But hey, if you're one of those more passive, people who, you listen to music in a more passive way, and you don't really have time to sit down and consume whole albums as art pieces and just sit and think about your life, etc., etc. Where was I going with the sentence? Oh yeah, I really recommend the singles, obviously, Fire and Forgive, Killers with a Cross, Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend. Really enjoy Venom of Venus. I also really enjoy the bonus track that was exclusive to some bundles, one of which that I have of the Sacrament of Sin. I really enjoy Midnight Madonna. That bonus track is really fucking amazing, and it's what I've been primarily meditating to lately. It's wild, I know. But yeah, top to bottom, this album is amazing, and you should go listen to it. Also, they have amazing art on the cover and inside the album art book by Zofia Dankova, who I really come to enjoy as an artist, and who's also just like super nice. I linked her my one of my episodes where I was talking about album art with MJ Alexander, and I mentioned that I really like Jofia's artwork, and I linked that to her, and she's like, "Oh wow, that's like your podcast is great," and I'm like, "Thank you so much." So thank you for that, Jofia. Thank you, Powerwolf, and I'm rambling. I should just stop right now. Alright, so that closes the portion of albums that came out in 2018. Here are albums that I have discovered in 2018, but did not come out in 2018, but are still good and I think are worth highlighting. Really sneaking its way into the end there was Allfather with And All Will Be Desolation. Well, actually, I lied. This one should have gotten into the 2018 portion of this thing. But I am a fool, and I scribbled this list in a rush, and I didn't think about it. So I apologize, Allfather, for that. So we're just gonna I'm just going to say that this isn't the end of the 2018 portion yet. Because, again, I am a fool. Anyway, And All Will Be Desolation. I talked about this album literally last week, but it really snuck into the end there as one of my favorites. Like, damn, coming in for the home run. Allfather. Oh my god, it's a really killer fucking album. Just top to bottom riffs for days. And one of the very few things to make me honest to God headbang and risk getting headaches, because I am a sensitive child who doesn't like getting those, even though I like heavy metal. I really chose the worst genre of music to enjoy for that particular reason, I suppose. No, it's just, there's no wrong way to enjoy metal, lads, If you don't headbang, then you are valid, like me. So, And All Will Be Desolation by Allfather is just an amazing record, top to bottom. And just, it appears that Allfather are really nice lads, just from the few instances of interactions that I've had with them on Twitter. I tweeted how they were, I was headbanging alone in my room, listening to Allfather for the first time, and, I followed them and they followed me back, and, that's probably just, good business on their part, but, I'd like to think, that they're amazing, that they're really nice in that regard. But also, I recently had tweeted about how I was raving about their album, and was like, yeah, I rave about you guys, hey, here you go. And they, honest to God, listened to that episode and thanked me for the kind words, and retweeted my link. So hell yeah, Allfather, you're doing amazing, lads. Okay, for real, we're talking about albums that didn't come out in 2018, but that I really enjoyed. And discovered in 2018, I should say. So for real, the first edition on this list is Sisters of Suffocation, who just got signed to Napalm Records this past year and are in the process of making a new album, and who just came out with a new song called Humans Are Broken, the title track for their new album. Anyway, we're here to talk about their other two previous releases, because I really enjoyed both. So they're both going to come onto this list. Their EP Brutal Queen, and also their album, which came out in 2017, Anthology of Curiosities, which top to bottom, that's a really good album, and just I've been listening to just not passively, but like while I've been like working on stuff that don't require too much cognitive thinking, because this is a fun fact about your host, about yours truly, is that when I write and when I come up with scripts mainly, or when I'm writing something else, it's when I write, just period, or I'm trying to think logically or use reasoning or something like that, I need not heavy metal music. I don't need metal to work on that stuff, because while I enjoy it, it's very distracting for my brain, because I want to focus on the fun riffs and in vocals and melodies and stuff like that. So I listen to classical music primarily. But when I've been like drawing, or I've been like working in my bullet journal, I've been listening to Anthology of Curiosities by Sisters of Suffocation, which is really great record. Came across this band because I have a friend who is my editor, Tino. Thank you again, Tino, by the way, for doing all this amazing work you've been doing. But he referred me to a metal YouTuber named Emily Herweg, who has like some really cool vlogs and videos and stuff like that, and I've been really enjoying them. And then she announced that she joined Sisters of Suffocation, so I'm like, might as well see what this band's about, because I'm following Emily. Might as well see what they're about, and she joined a great band, and I think they picked a great guitarist for their lineup. So I'm really excited to see what 2019 will bring. March 2019, particularly, because that's when the Humans Are Broken album by Sisters of Suffocation will come out. Let's see what this will bring. Also, once again, congratulations on joining Napalm Records. You're joining a fun little family over there, it appears. Next on this list is Serpentine Dominion, a supergroup. Essentially, it's like so weird thinking about supergroups, but this is a really amazing project where, you know, going into it, I didn't know that it employed the vocals of Corpse Grinder Fisher of, you know, Cannibal Corpse, that band. You know, they seem to be really popping off lately. You know, people appear to be liking them a lot. Anyway, where am I going with this? Serpentine Dominion's self-titled album, which seems to be a one-off thing. If they do more, it would be nice, but I'm particularly okay with this being the one album that Serpentine Dominion have, because that is a really good record. And the thing with supergroups also is it's like, it's kind of weird. It might be a little bit weird for people in the band to be juggling multiple projects at once in that sense. Like, oh, gotta focus on touring with Cannibal Corpse because, you know, they're the moneymaker for Corpse Grinder. Or gotta focus on Black Dahlia Murder because that's my main thing over here. You know, that sort of thing. Or gotta work on Killswitch Engage because, you know, I like the fact that these, like, different sounds came together in Serpentine Dominion, but I really enjoy the fact that this is the one record that they have, and if they do nothing else, that is perfectly okay too. Where am I going with this? It's a really fucking good album. That's all that matters to me. Next on this list, we're getting a little blasphemous. Actually, these last three editions are pretty pretty thematic, I wanna say, in some shape or form. Twin Temple is next on this list, though. Satanic doo-wop, which is completely not heavy metal, of course, but I talked about them in one of my previous episodes, and I've been really enjoying them a lot. So super fucking much. Twin Temple is a really, like, if nothing else, even if you aren't a worshipper of Satan, if I follow in that category of not being a worshipper of Satan, I really find this a enjoyable album. I enjoy the fact that they purposefully used the mono method versus stereo, which makes, you know, listening with one earbud when you want to listen to music, but you have to pay attention to a conversation or keep your ear open for whatever people might need to say to you. Like, it makes that convenient because you can just put the one earbud in with no worries, because while I very much enjoy stereo, I really love the methodical use of stereo. It can be annoying when you don't get that full experience in the one ear, when you have to keep your attention out for something else, which I'm blabbling on. Like, the main themes of Twin Temple, aside from Satanism and doo-wop, obviously, are, like, the idea of, like, one of the sort of things that is prevalent in the Twin Temple presence is Hex the Patriarchy, which there's this very feminist this feminist, presence, that's a better word, for Twin Temple, really being about making choices for oneself and not hurting others, you know, because they also they posted a thing recently on their Instagram that's like hex white supremacy, which I appreciate. Thanks, Twin Temple, for that. So yeah, Twin Temple has been really killing it, and I can't wait to see if they're gonna be doing anything else in the future. They might not. Like, this is, again, like, one of those things where I'd be happy if this was just the one album that Twin Temple has, but at the same time, they can, they can pursue further creative pursuits under the name Twin Temple. I am babbling again. I'm gonna stop babbling. Next on this list, and you know I love this band, Bewitcher's album Bewitcher, which came out in 2016 and is part of the prize package for the giveaway that I've hosted for this podcast. Again, stay tuned to the end to see who won that. But anyway, Bewitcher's album Bewitcher is amazing. And fun fact, the day before I recorded this, I got my Bewitcher tape in the mail. It was so cool to get that neat little record rectangle. It was an honest to God cassette. It's standing next to my Zeal and Ardor cassette. Now I have 2 cassettes that I'm not gonna listen to because I have other formats, but I like owning things is my thing. Anyway, Bewitcher is amazing, satanic, speed metal with some blackened vibes thrown in there, with some new wave of British heavy metal thrown in there, particularly in the song In the Night, The Cult Will Rise, and I just, this is an amazing record, so fucking killer! And, you know, you can, like, listen to this whole record probably a few times in a few hours because, I say a few times in, like, 1 hour because it's speed metal. It doesn't have time to linger. Like, you know? Particularly, I love every song on this album, again, but I think some particular favorites for me are the title track, Bewitcher, because there's this, like, going into it for the first time, there's this, like, this, for me, deceptive sort of electronic intro before I was smacked in the face with speedy Motorhead type riffs, and I'm like, okay, this is actually the album we're listening to. All right. So that took me by surprise, but I really love Bewitcher, the song by Bewitcher on the album Bewitcher. I love Black Speed Delirium. It's a really good record. Next on this list, we have Beyond the Omens by Lucifers Hammer. I was just at one point really listening to just a lot of speed metal on Spotify and stuff, and I was on Spotify mobile, so it does that thing where it's like, oh, if you like this, we'll just sneak in one of these tracks, which is annoying sometimes when you're trying to listen to one album. Like, no, just want to listen to this, want to listen to Savage Master, fuck off. But they didn't disappoint with when they introduced me to a little song called Dying by Lucifers Hammer, and I'm like, this sounds pretty good. I'm gonna see what the rest of this album is about. And basically, it really felt like to me, if like Iron Maiden were like a little bit more like, I don't know, like melodic is the wrong term to use, but like melodic in the fact that it's like catchy and, you know, a little bit more hard rock, you know, which, you know, arguably Iron Maiden is hard rock, but they're beloved by metalheads everywhere, so we consider them metal and have a lot of influence in one form or fashion over metal. So again, there's that too. But anyway, we're talking about Lucifer's Hammer. The Beyond the Omens came out in 2016. And from this little band, I don't know how little they are, but they're a band from Chile, which, you know, I found intriguing. It's a really good album. Like, Dying is probably the one track that is, that I would consider to be, like, you know, single material that people really like, you know, the one that you would hear on the radio all the time. But the whole album is really fun. And I've looked back into some more of Lucifer's Hammer's discography and found a similar thing. I have no brain cells right now. Finally on this list, we have Speedwolf by Speedwolf, another one-off release act. That's a really weird turn of phrase. But this band only has one album, and I don't know if they're ever going to come out with another album. If they don't, I guess that's fine, but I'm curious to see what else Speedwolf could do. I mean, there's really not a lot you could do with speed metal. You know, there's like the one thing, fast. That's really it. But you can employ the fast in a lot of fun ways. But I think that Speedwolf is really fun. in the same vein as Bewitcher in the fact that they have a Motorhead influence just prevalent in their music. It's really more overt in that fact because their vocal style is more similar to Motorhead as well, more gritty and not more like blackened, not like, and I really enjoy that. You have really great tracks on there like I Am the Demon, Speedwolf, Out on Bail, and the rest of the album is just so good. I would love to see if Speedwolf does anything, but again, if nothing else from Speedwolf, I will enjoy this one record for eternity. You know, sometimes it's good that some bands don't release more than one record because all of these other motherfuckers in the world are releasing album after album, year after year, and it's like, guys, take a break, why don't you? That's gonna round out my favorite albums of 2018. Both that came out in 2018. Sorry again, Allfather. I'm just diagnosed with dumb bitch disease right now. I'm working to overcome it. But also albums that I had discovered in 2018. I'm really curious to see what 2019 will bring. More killer albums, more new, undiscovered, for me anyway, bands. You know, I'll come across a big deal band and flagellate myself once more like I did when I discovered Iron Reagan. So, yeah. So here's the part of the episode you've probably been waiting for, the announcement for the winner of the giveaway that I've been hosting these past few weeks. If you haven't been tuned into the activity here on Lovely Talks Heavy, I've been hosting a giveaway on my Metalhead Christmas wishlist episode. I highlighted some interesting items that you could purchase or, you know, give or ask for Christmas, for your fellow metalheads or from your family. Just a good sort of Pinterest board of stuff to look for. Also that I had hosted when my giveaway started there, featuring some items from that list of stuff that I had highlighted. Just to refresh people's memory, I'm giving away, I should say, a $20 Bandcamp gift card. I'm giving away 2 album frames for, you know, that album art you want to put on your wall. A Bewitcher by Bewitcher CD, you know, one of my favorites from this year that I've been enjoying and have discovered and gonna give away to somebody. And thank you to Bath Sabbath for providing 2 soaps from your shop. Bath Sabbath are a online heavy metal soap shop. If you want to get yourself or somebody else something amazing for Christmas, especially that metalhead in your life, you should go to bathsabbath.etsy.com. Anyway, they provided 2 soaps, 1 Cup of Joe, which smells like coffee. It really is good, and it's my favorite soap from Bath Sabbath. You're gonna want to eat it, but you shouldn't. Anyway, then they're giving away a Krampus the Alpine Demon soap. Again, amazing soap from Bath Sabbath. Thank you for that. Here is the winning entry that was sent in to my feedback email, lthfeedback@protonmail.com. If you ever want to send in your feedback or comments and stuff like that, here it is. From Devin Densky. What I gave a fellow metalhead as a gift last year, I gave my brother-in-law a Suspended shirt for Christmas. Suspended is an all-female thrash metal band from Albuquerque, New Mexico that I feel is extremely underrated. Not only was I promoting them and spreading the word about them, but the shirt said 505 Metal, which is a great way to remember where we came from. 505 is the area code for Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thank you for that, Devin, and you're the winner of this fun prize package. Sorry to everybody else who didn't win, but hopefully in the future there will be future opportunity to have more giveaways here on this podcast. Thank you again, Bath Sabbath. We'll get all of the information necessary to get this surprise package out to Devin. So yeah, thank you so much for all of your support in this past year, guys. Thank you for listening to Lovely Talks Heavy in 2018, through the ups and downs, through mainly the downs of my depressive slumps, but also the ups of the excitement of my love of Powerwolf, of me going through so many track-by-track reviews, talking about heavy metal news, mainly in the what's coming out and what is out and what's new and interesting from all of these different genres of music that I enjoy. Versatility is important, lads, you know. You can have one niche sort of thing that you enjoy, but it's important to kind of spread yourself around a bit. Anyways, what am I going with this? And just talking about my life, talking about just, you know, it's been a very great year as far as productivity in this podcast, as far as pushing content out there. It was really wild to me that I made it even a full year of content creation. That's just wild to me. You know, a lot of times, and I've said this before, whenever I feeling like I'm not getting enough attention or I'm not doing well enough in a certain thing, I'll just like give up on it. But you know, I haven't, you know, stopped with this podcast because it's something that I really enjoy doing, and I want to do it for as long as I possibly can through the depression, through all of the, you know, shit that one might experience. I am going to be a voice in your ear, in your head, and etc. I don't know anymore. So I won't be posting another episode next week. You won't be hearing from me until the first Saturday of 2019, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't, like, listen to past episodes. That doesn't mean you shouldn't share the show with a friend and get them hooked on this podcast. Maybe they can get caught up if they haven't listened to this podcast before. Share the show with a friend. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, even though Tumblr apparently is really just corroding further internally, so I might find another venue other than Tumblr. But for now, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, and Mixcloud. I am Lovely Metalhead. Follow me on those platforms, and, you know, share the show with a friend. Send a link out to your favorite family, your favorite friends. That sounds like a weird thing to say. Your favorite people, your favorite bands, all of that stuff, and say, hey, we got a music fan that is really into heavy metal and just won't stop talking about Powerwolf mainly, but hey, they like other music, we promise. And be sure to, if you want to have your feedback read aloud on the show, you can do it through those venues. You can also email me. That'll be the main thing I'll be looking at. lthfeedback@protonmail.com. Just send that feedback that way, and I'll read it aloud on the show and respond to it, and yeah. Thank you once again to my friend Tino, who's been really gracious in editing my show. You know, I was like very nervous about asking him, just because it's like, I don't want to be like, if you don't want this burden, I understand. But he's really been taking this undertaking. I really appreciate what you've been doing. You'll get a little bit of break now for the next few weeks. So, a planned break, not a, hey guys, I'm depressed and I really don't know what to do about it break. So, yeah, so you enjoy your holidays, you know, just not editing the show for a bit. We'll be back on schedule in 2019 though, okay? All right. Until the next episode of Lovely Talks Heavy, which will be out in 2019. You stay brutal, my friends. Goodbye.